What is up, everybody? Week 13, the usual Wednesday show. We go live on CBS Sports Radio in T-minus 15 minutes and 40 seconds. I can't wait to talk Week 13 with you, with Russ on CBS Sports Radio. We broadcast live. We stream live the entire hour show. The appearance I do every Wednesday on Russ Bliss's CBS Sports Radio, 1580 The Fanatic, the longest running fantasy football radio show in the world, in the universe, on the planet. There is nobody, not the footballers, not Matthew Berry, nobody that's been on longer than this show. 23 years on terrestrial radio, 1580 AM The Fanatic, CBS Sports Radio, and it all starts... Whoops. Where's my intro? Smitty, get your intro ready. What am I doing? I can't even find my intro anymore. My intro does not load. The only thing I can load is this. How's this? You have just been Smitty approved. Okay? Is that okay for an intro? Take a lap, Smitty. Here, we'll do... Let me see if I can load this intro manually. Let's see here. Let's try... I can't. It's not going to play. Here's my fake intro. You top 5 running back. Pimp Kane in the house. That's our intro. I got the Pimp Kane with me. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but some crazy lunatic, A-bag, D-bag, however you want to define him, tried to break into Casa de Smitty. And I've got the video footage, the surveillance footage on my Instagram. Let me show it on here, actually. Let me get that footage over here. Some a-hole tried to break into Casa de Smitty and tried to open the door, the front door, tried to open the car doors of Casa de Smitty. And if I was awake, because I saw it on the footage, I would have taken my Pimp Cane and I would have introduced him to Mr. Pimp Cane. That's what I would have done. Glad you're here, Teddy. What's up, MT? What's up, Chi-Town? What's up, Steven, Jerry? All of you, welcome. Have I missed the super chat as I've been ranting? No, I haven't. Just making sure. Let me share this video clip of the creep that tried to break into Casa, dropping a Pimp Cane in the studio here. Okay, so here, let me share this video with myself and then with you guys. And then, so here he is. Here's the creeper. And if you know who this is, I hope somebody knows who this is. Let me see if I can get this over to my computer here. Why isn't it loading? There it is. All right, here we go. for. Okay, here's video 1. Be fun to share. If you know who this is, let me know. If it's your Brissett's dad, is that your son? Maybe it's the counselor. He's lucky he did not come to my house, says Brissett's dad. He's lucky he didn't wake me up. I would have opened the door with this. He looks drunk. He's wearing a suit. Yeah, it's weird. Drunk and lost. Why is he carrying his shoes though? He was drunk. Smitty. Pimp Kane. Yeah, I should have pimp caned him. Anyways, we're T-minus 8 minutes and 58 seconds until we go live on CBS Sports Radio 1580, The Fanatic, longest running fantasy football radio show in the world, in the universe, as far as I know. There could be some alien show that's been going a little bit longer, but we can't verify or find it. So until that alien craft lands on Earth and lets me know that they have had a longer running show, 23 years than we have had, and I've been a part of it for 16. Russ has been going strong for 23 years. Where's my guitar sound? I need to get a guitar sound so I can go. Let's see if I can get a guitar sound, because that's more important than fantasy. No, it's not more important. I'll do that later. I'll do that on my own time. Thomas, Tannehill has been on fire lately, says Jerry, and that's good for A.J. Brown. If you need A.J. Brown to start for you, you're not that desperate. You're in good shape because A.J. Brown is looking fantastic. A.J. Brown looks like a top 10 wide receiver for the future if he can get consistent QB play, which I'm not saying Tannehill is that answer. The counselor sent him, Smitty. Maybe it was Joe. Could have been. He could have knocked. I would have entered it, let him in, and interviewed him. Smitty, Fred came to your head. That was Fred. That was probably Fred. Crazy to sit Watson. Let me put this on screen. Crazy to sit Watson for Goff. I wouldn't play Goff over Watson, but that's me. I could see Breeze. I could see, players like that. Let me see if I have that other clip. Let me see if I have the other clip. It's better because he actually tries to open the front door. I think this is it. No, I can do this on my own time. Joe, I would have let you in if you just knocked. Louder. Blah, blah. Thoughts on Singletary and Ridley? I mean, if Julio sits, Ridley's like one of those must plays. But then again, I don't know, man. Anything can happen. Singletary and Ridley are kind of close anyway. So if Julio sat, I think Ridley would be. It's hard to know if maybe he would be double teamed and then he doesn't have a big game. Maybe he benefits from Julio there. I don't know. Jacobs or Bell? I go Jacobs all the way. Julio or Chark? Please answer, says Dried Ocean. I mean, if Julio's playing, dude, you play Julio. But if he's questionable heading into kickoff and you're not sure the workload, then Chark is a damn fine replacement. Oh, I better open up Skype because they'll be calling on the bat line in 1 second. We should let Instagram know you're live. Okay. Instagram, here we come. Why won't you swipe? Okay. Instagram. Welcome. We're live on youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. Are you going to join us, or are you just going to sit there? Let me see if I can prop this up. It's hard to do. The reason I'm doing that is because I got my pimp cane in one hand, and I don't want to let go of it, so I'm trying to do everything with one hand. Thank you, man. No problem, Dried Ocean. Evans is still a bum. No, he's not, Legion. He's a top. I had Evans in my top 12 overall. I think it was top 10 or top 12 on Instagram, and people lost their shiat. And I don't understand. I mean, Godwin and Evans are like neck and neck for being number 5, number 6, or number 7. I sent you a super chat. My bad, Andrew. I'm selfish right now talking about the man that tried to open my front door. At 3 a.m., is it safe to bench Gallagher? It depends on your options, Andrew. So give me your options. Thank you for the super chat. This thing is really... Listen to it. Ready? This is a brick wall. Right here. Hey, hold on. This pimp cane is really solid. So if that guy comes back... give me your options, Andrew. I need to know who we're dealing with. Evans is also added to the undroppable list that includes only 7 receivers. MT, very good to know. John Brown, Keenan Allen, or Julio in standard. I mean, if Julio's a go, you're playing Julio. But if he looks really shady heading into the kickoff, then I like John Brown or Allen. I like both of them. I like Brown. I hate that you have to bench even one of those guys. I love all of them. Edelman over Evans. Evans, I mean, okay, Dylan, let's put it this way. Either one could outscore the other, no question about it. Like, this is not one of those, are you an idiot moves? But Evans is like 5, 6, or 7 in your league, depending on your scoring. And why are people upset that I have him in my top 12, top 10, top 12-ish overall heading into 2020? Not Dynasty necessarily. That I don't know that I rule him out in my top 12 in Dynasty. I might have him there. But Evans is a machine. Him and Godwin have been trading off, blowing up. And then the weeks that Evans has a big game, he usually has 180 and 3 TDs a couple times a year. And when he does it, everybody's like, oh, Evans is the best receiver in the planet, Schmitty. And then when he has a stinker, or when Godwin has 2 TDs, it's, oh my God, how is Godwin not in your top 5? And the truth is, you could argue either one. I'm not going to yell at anybody that says, hey, I got Godwin number 5 and Evans number 7. I'm not going to be mad at that. But that's the whole point, is that you should be okay with anybody ranking Evans in their top 3 to 8. Even if someone said, I got Evans 8, I'm not going to go, what? The crazy part is when somebody says, what? To one of your rankings that are very arguable. Like, I put Saquon Barkley number 2 on my 2020 top 10 overall on Instagram. I put Barkley number 2 and Cook number 3. And people lost their shit. They lost it. Wipe your feet on the way in the door, please. How many people we got in here? 49. Did YouTube let you know we're live? Doobie, if you're in here, can you let Sleeper U Form know? If not, I'll take care of that. But hit the thumbs up on your way in. 16. Come on. Have some respect. Wipe your feet. I already had somebody try and open my front door at 3 a.m. The least you could do is, out of sympathy, thumb up the video. But honestly, I don't understand how you can... I could understand if you're like, hey, Barkley's 4 for me. I'd be okay with that. I'd be fine with that. If you said Barkley's number 4, I'm like, you know what, dude? There's an argument to be made for Zeke number 2 if you want. McCaffrey's number 1. I still wouldn't get mad at anybody that had McCaffrey 2 or 3. But I could say, That's not the best move, man. McCaffrey should be probably 1. Mark and Andrew super chatting. Let me get those on the screen. But what's crazy is when people act like you're off base by having Barkley number 2. That's what's not frustrating, because I almost don't care. But it's like, you're really going to go at me for having Barkley number 2, and then you have people say he's done nothing all year, talking about this year. Who cares about this year? If his injury is going to hamper him into 2020 August, then of course you can make a statement. He tore his ACL. You could have an argument. But you're going to tell me that Barkley, who's still playing right now, healthy enough to play, you're going to worry about 2020 injuries this year or what he's done this year? He's the most talented running back physically in the NFL. Where is CBS? Mark, would you rather drop Fuller or Ronald Jones to pick up Fournette's handcuff? I'd rather drop Ronald Jones, but that's arguable, debatable. Depends if you need a wide receiver or running back, so position-dependent answer for you. But either one could be dropped if you were position-dependent to keep one. So I think it's very even. Ronald Jones has upside, has appeal. He also has the ability to disappear and vanish. Fuller is really good. Maybe not this week. Maybe he's okay this week. Maybe they double Hopkins and he does break one free. But Fuller is really good when on the field, so I like Fuller a little more for right now. Could it change? Absolutely. Mark, as always, young man, thank you for the super chat, sir. Mark is a beast. Ozzy's also a beast. Kyler, Murray, Brady, Goff, stream a QB over Watson? Question mark? Probably Kyler, bro. Probably Kyler. I don't want to say I'm super excited or confident about that. Looks like we got CBS. This is Smitty.
Hey, Smitty. We're coming to you right now.
Okay.
Okay, give me a minute. Thanks.
Yeah.
I got Smitty.
He said, I've got Smitty. Let me see if I can quit Skype here. Quit Skype.
NFL fans and fantasy football fanatics, it's time to get into
The red zone.
Talking fantasy football in the NFL with Russ Blitz.
Longest running fantasy football show on the planet. 23 years. I'm pointing at you. That food always sounds good. If you're local in Arizona, Sands, Timer. Where's Big Timer? I haven't seen Big Timer in a while. Unless he just isn't posting. Big Timer, Sands. Who else is local in Arizona here that's in the chat? Anybody? Go over to Santisi Brothers. They deserve it. Forget about it.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Red Zone on 1580 AM, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for the NFL and Super Bowl 54. Russ Blitz with you till 8 o'clock tonight.
Andrew, I'll get to you in a second.
1580 is the text line. You got fantasy football questions. Myself and my next guest are here to provide you with some fantasy football answers. I'm live at Santisi Brothers Pizzeria and Sports Grill, week 13 of the Fantasy Football Challenge. Come on out, show your support for the radio program, play the free Fantasy Football Challenge. It's easy to play, and it's free. All you got to do is fill out a roster, a quarterback, 2 running backs.
I'm looking at your question right now, Andrew. Bench Galladay for Mixon. I would. For Mixon, I would.
Congratulations to our winners in week 12 of the Fantasy Challenge. First place, John Sharpnack of Phoenix. Second place, Ross Knight of
I didn't win.
And third place, Mark Luciani of Peoria. I could be announcing your name on the program next week.
I got to ask him what place I got.
Before 8 o'clock tonight, I will not be here tomorrow night. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hopefully you have got wonderful
you guys
plans
hear him okay?
with your friends and family and everything going on. So definitely,
Big Timer, Umberger, Tony, where are you?
2710 West Bell Road in North Phoenix. I am in the restaurant just before
no problem, Sean.
I've got my classic white Todd Gurley.
What's up, Jizzy?
So look for that guy. I'll get you hooked up with an entry. Now, Joining us on the program, my next guest from the FantasyFootballShow.com and SleeperU.com. It's Smitty. Smitty, my friend, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, Russ. Just getting ready for this crazy Week 13. Man, Week 12, Week 11. It's been a weird couple weeks for certain players and a lot of low performers. It's a weird season. How about you? How you feeling the same way about this season?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, what was it? I think it was 2 weeks ago, Week 10 or something like that, where there were so many upsets that happened that week. It was just bizarre. And then this past week, Oakland, off of a 3-game winning streak, gets shellacked by the New York Jets. You would have thought that would have been something that the Raiders could have possibly taken care of their business on. The Rams on Monday night got their butts handed to them by the Baltimore Ravens. Not too surprising there because Baltimore's playing at an incredible level, and the Rams just look like a shredded piece of paper.
Yeah, it's. I'm hoping Week 13 is okay and gets back to normal. But a lot of people are on the verge of making their playoffs, and it comes down to this week. Almost everybody, should be in the playoff. Have the playoffs in weeks 14, 15, and 16. I recommend nobody play week 17, but there are still a handful of people who do play week 17. So I still provide content for it, as do you. But 14, 15, and 16 should be your playoffs. And Russ, do you play any total point leagues anymore? I'm a big fan of that. Like you, we're dinosaurs in the industry, but I still feel like there's an argument to be made for total point only leagues, even if you want to have a Super Bowl in it and have 2 first place prizes. But I think total points tells the story of who the best team is, and I think people need to bring that back a little bit into the prize and money for their leagues.
Well, I don't play in any more total point leagues. Used to a long time ago. I know that in our Dynasty League, you've got dual trophies for total points and also for the championship winner.
Yeah.
In our Dynasty League. But, one of the things that I actually enjoy, and, it's one of those masochistic pleasures as a fantasy football dinosaur, is that I have got the second most points scored in the league, and I am sitting here at 4-8 heading into Week 13 because I've got 300 more points scored against me than any other team.
Yeah, that happens. That's happened to me in a couple leagues this year. It's pretty frustrating. That's why I think total points is a great thing to add to. You can add to it. You don't even have to make it first place. It could be, the second or third place prize, or just give a big chunk of something to that person that gets the total point, it's the total point winner. And oftentimes you will have the total point winner still be the Super Bowl winner. So it's a way of cleaning up, and getting first and second place. So it actually could be a more advantageous prize because if you do just Super Bowl's first place, Super Bowl runner-up second place, you can't get first and second place in that scenario. Whereas in a lot of leagues I do, it's first place for Super Bowl, second place is total point winner. And so you could literally win both first and second place, and it makes it fun.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that. One of the things that I was a proponent of years ago is that instead of doing head-to-head matchups against one team, do head-to-head matchups against every team in the league. So that way the person that scores the most points, let's say you're in a 12-team league, typical 12-team league, you go out and you score the most points of any team of all teams that weekend, you are 11-0. The team that had the second most points is 10-1. Third place is 9-2.
That's a cool way to look at it. I like that.
And that way it kind of incorporates the points and, because who hasn't had, oh my God, I scored 190 points this week only to lose by 1 point to the guy that scored 191.
Yeah.
Well, the next person highest in the league was down at like 132.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So heading into Week 13, with it being all important for fantasy playoff purposes, who are some of your free agents to target this week? Because there are injuries, there are concerns. If people are out there looking around for someone, who are some of the guys that they are thinking of?
Yeah, I think the top 4 guys I would probably throw out there, and of course it very much depends on if you have a very small size bench in your league, then you're going to have a lot of guys on waivers that I'm not going to name. So if there's somebody out there on the text line or in the YouTube live chat that I have going right now that has a bigger name player that I'm mentioning. Toss it out and we'll talk about it. But number one is really a three-way tie right now that's dependent on the news that breaks between Benny Snell, who could be the main ball carrier for the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 13. Darrell Williams could be the main ball carrier and receiving back in Kansas City in Week 13. Both of them might not be. We don't really know for sure yet. And then Rashad Penny, who may or may not be taking a bunch away from Chris Carson this week. We don't really know anything for certain right now on any three of those fronts. So it's kind of like, you're trying to make your best educated guess as to who should be the best scoring person heading into Week 13. I kind of lean toward Darrell Williams because I think they're going to use him regardless, even if Damian does come back. And I don't know if you've seen any news on Damian in the last hour. I've been getting on this live, and so there could be something breaking that I haven't seen yet in the last hour. But Damian Williams is likely out, I think, for another week at least. Even if he comes back, I don't see him being very super active. And so Darrell Williams, to me, is probably the best pickup as of this moment. What do you think between those three, and how would you rank them?
It's really tough. I do like the matchup that Damian Williams has this week against the Oakland Raiders a lot more than I like the other ones. Benny Snell gets a tough matchup against the Cleveland Browns, and you really just don't know what's going to happen with Devlin Hodges as the quarterback position for Pittsburgh. This is kind of like as Gary said in the first hour, Hodges sucks just a little less. And if they are unable to get a lead on Cleveland, which I think is likely that they're going to have a hard time getting any type of lead on the Cleveland Browns, then how much are they going to go with a thunder of Benny Snell as opposed to a lightning of Jalen Samuels? So,
yeah,
it's a real tough thing right there. Who was the third running back you mentioned? It just slipped my mind again.
So Snell, Rashad Penny, and then Darrell Williams.
Yeah, Rashad Penny is very intriguing because Chris Carson, 2 fumbles on 2 consecutive plays. One called back because of penalty, and the other one upheld, and he looked like as though he had no idea that was the play that was called. And if I'm going to blame one of the two between Russell Wilson and Chris Carson for not knowing what play was called in the huddle, I'm going to blame Chris Carson. He was thinking about that fumble that he had and was thanking his lucky stars that they had a penalty on that play so that way he could fall on it and recover it. And therefore, he was distracted. That's my opinion on that. So I have to wonder if Pete Carroll's going to really want to get Rashad Penny a whole lot more playing time this week. The Seattle Seahawks, they are at home against Minnesota. That's a tough matchup in my opinion. But we know that the Seattle Seahawks will commit to the run, and if it's rainy in the Pacific Northwest, there's going to be a lot of running.
Yeah, big timer in the chat. A few of the guys in this chat here, I actually did a local event once and met them live. We talked about Chris Carson on that show, and that was, I forget what week it was, but that was the week where I said, you know what? All my doubt of Chris Carson, I'm going to have to set aside for the moment and say that this guy's looking good. He's looking great. But this was my fear and why I doubted him so much. This is one aspect of what I doubted. He's not a guy that stayed healthy or been super consistent in it for an entire season. Fumbling, it just worried me that he would leave you hanging when it counted most, and that's why I doubted Chris Carson a ton heading into 2019. I admittedly have been wrong for a big part of the season, but this is what I feared, and maybe they hand the ball to him like nothing ever happened, Russ, and that could be the case, and maybe he holds on to it. But you have to think he was like given a warning, like, look, you need to stop fumbling the ball. And when you fumble it, like you said, in 2 consecutive plays last week, at what point do you say, we drafted Penny in the first round for a reason, let's see what he has and at least give him half of the touches. So I don't know what to think. It's really hard to predict what's going to happen. None of us know. And they're not going to tell us what they're going to do, especially in today's news world that we're facing. I don't know what to say, Russ.
I will say I think you're right. If I have to rank them 1, 2, 3, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rank them as Williams number 1, Penny number 2, Snell number 3. But between them, really, it is a crapshoot.
Yep.
Ready? We're going to put you on I'll bring you up on the other side. Tell everybody all about what you're doing with the fantasy football show on the other side, and continue the conversation.
Sounds good.
At the same time on YouTube and on 1580 AM, 99.3 FM, the Fanatic, Arizona's new home for the NFL and Super Bowl 54, and we'll be right back. Your new home for...
That music is so loud. It's like blaring. I don't know if they, like I said each time, I don't know if they have to do that for the levels are different, like on air or something like than they are like on the phone line. Anyways, Andrew, your question's been on screen here this entire time. You patient man, Andrew. Andrew Silva is one of the early adopters of the show. Andrew, I'm so proud to have you here as Ozzy. Same with Mark and all you guys, everybody in here. Computer Bob, Legion. We got definitely a few new people here. Bender, I'd like to see you here. My ball, Zach Ertz, is in the house. Thumbs down by the Clownsler. What? I'm glad he's here though. Legion, what's up, Legion? And who's the new? I saw a couple new faces. Finman, are you new? You're not new, are you? Let's answer your question anyways. Pick two. Oh no, I got to answer Andrews. Let me drag your question on the screen, and then I think Bernardo, you're in the house. Glad to see you here. Okay, my options are Hunt, Mixon, Conley, Penny, or AJ Brown. I really like Hunt this week, but I like Mixon a little more. They're going back to the red man, the redhead. What do they call him? What's his nickname? What do they call Andy Dalton? They call him like the Red Rocket. What do they call Andy Dalton's red hair? I'm blanking out on his nickname. Now, I like that they went away from him because that made them focus on the run. Like here, we have an inexperienced quarterback under center. We're going to lean on the run. They hadn't been leaning on Mixon all year. And then they go ahead and bench Dalton, put Mixon kind of front and center as their focal point of the offense. Now they're going back to whatever Andy Dalton's nickname is. Why am I blanking out on this? And I think that hopefully they stick with the script. What is it? Red Rifle? Is that what they call him? I thought there was another name, but yeah. The Red Rifle. And so I'm kind of Fire Crotch. So I'm kind of thinking that the Red Rifle, they won't just throw them to the wolves. They'll be like, look, we're sticking to this run first game plan. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't. What do you guys think? Mixon or Galladay? What do you guys think? Let's help out Andrew. I'm kind of feeling like Mixon, but I wouldn't be opposed to going Galladay. Galladay's a grown man. I wish Stafford was there. If Stafford was there, Galladay would be a wide receiver 1 right now without question. He's so good. Read the damn chat, Smitty. I am reading the chat. Computer, I'm answering a super chat as well, bro. But Maddox, post your question again. Don't spam it, but post it again. Oh, you read the damn chat because you have the nickname. There's a 10 to 15 second delay, bro. So I didn't see it in there. Mixon says ugly. Galladay says Maddox. Andy Dalton, question mark, says Legion. Galladay, Mixon, Galladay. Mixon with no Stafford. Got ceiling, says Maddox. To his Galladay pick. So Alex, I hope, or Andrew. It's Andrew. Andrew! Sorry, man. Calling Andrew Alex. Where is Alex? God, there's so many people that have like gone missing. Where's the clan? This is the second time Seclan's missed a CBS sports show in a row. Not acceptable, Seclan. Start one QB. Wentz, Winston, Tannehill. I go with Wentz. Okay, here we go. We're back. We're back. We're back.
With you till 8 o'clock tonight, joined by my good friend and guest Betty from the FantasyFootballShow.com and
We're back.
Letty, go ahead and tell everybody about these two venues that you've got going on and what we're actually doing right now.
Yeah, so we're live right now on youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. You can also get there by going to thefantasyfootballshow.com. And of course, I have sleeperu.com. But basically, thefantasyfootballshow.com on YouTube, Russ, is like the radio show but in video format. And it's something I do. Imagine having Russ Bliss on almost every single night. That's what it's like, but in video format, you know. Russ, it would be great to have you on here on a regular basis. I don't know that I could pry you away from your current job, but someday you may get the call if the Fantasy Football Show gets big enough, and we're growing fast. We've gone from 0 subscribers to like about 3,800 in literally just this season. I haven't even been up for a year yet. But it's getting bigger. It's year-round fantasy football talk. I'm getting into the dynasty stuff, the 2020 rankings videos and stuff like that. So if you want year-round fantasy football video content that has a splash of what you're getting here, that's where you want to go.
Awesome. Tell everyone about sleeperu.com as well.
Yeah, so sleeperu.com is kind of what it's the content side. So you got the Fantasy Football Shows, the video format. Sleeperu.com, that's SLEEPER, sleeper, and the letter U.com. And it's essentially like rankings, year-round fantasy football bowl predictions, all the written content you get over on sleeperu.com. So kind of the best of both worlds. I have the two formats. They're under one umbrella, but I created the Fantasy Football Show to kind of pull the video content out from Sleeper U so it didn't get overshadowed and so it could kind of be its own entity. And honestly, I'm not sure which one's going to carry the other into the future because they're both doing really well. But the Fantasy Football Show, I really think it's going to explode in 2020, so I can't wait.
Hopefully I'll be around for that, and we'll continue to have you on the show here on my radio program as well, my friend. I look forward to it.
Yeah, and we're streaming live right now on youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show, and I appreciate you letting me do that because that allows everybody to see this, you know, and if they want to rewatch it, whatever. And I've got questions in here. There's constantly people trying to ask questions. So when the text line is empty, you let me know.
Well, the text line is empty right now, so you got some stuff right there. Let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, start one QB, Russ. Wentz, Winston, or Tannehill. So you have Wentz, let's see, playing the Dolphins, and it's in Miami. And you have, what was the other one that I already forgot? I already forgot it, Russ. It's my own question.
Jameis Winston and Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I actually like that matchup, despite the fact that Jacksonville was just carved up by Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill was at Indianapolis, gets a nice, comfy dome to play in. Tannehill's actually been a pretty hot quarterback since he took over for Marcus Mariota, and he's been he's given some life. I mean, when was the last time we talked about Tennessee Titans wide receivers?
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden, they're like worth mentioning again. So, you know, if I'm going to choose between these three, I think I'm going to go with the guy that's got the nice, comfy dome and an important game for their division. Tennessee, I'm going to go with Ryan Tannehill here. He's been the hotter quarterback. Carson Wentz doesn't look like Carson Wentz of before. He looks like as though there's something wrong. I don't know exactly what it is, but I don't want to take any chances, even though he is taking on the Miami Dolphins, a team that is very generous to opposing quarterbacks. But I'm going to stay away from that, and I'm going to stay away from Jameis Winston.
I think I lean Wentz, but just because of the matchup. But that's a tough one. So Jerry, hopefully you got enough from that to make a decision. I'm going to lean Wentz. He's going to lean Tannehill. Neither one of us are leaning Winston, but you wouldn't be crazy to go either one. Another question from Ozzy. Kyler Murray, Tom Brady, Jared Goff. Do you play any one of those guys, Kyler Murray, Brady, or Goff, over Deshaun Watson against the Patriots?
Wow. Deshaun Watson, Jared Goff, Tom Brady, Kyler Murray. You know, Goff is in a great position to rebound this week against the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray has just been electric. Tom Brady's been a big disappointment this year, but he's not in the snow and rain of New England. He's down in Houston this week, and Houston is actually the second best matchup of all of these quarterbacks. And Deshaun Watson, how do you sit a guy who has been having the type of season that Deshaun Watson has been having so far this year? I mean, Deshaun Watson is the fourth highest scoring fantasy quarterback. He's got 2,899 passing yards, 20 touchdowns in 11 games. You know, the one thing that's been a little he's even got 301 yards and 5 more rushing touchdowns. So it's really hard to sit Deshaun Watson. Goff has had too many struggles, and that Rams offensive line stinks out loud. So I think even though he's got the best matchup against the most giving team, I can't play Goff. Tom Brady has been a huge disappointment this year. He's got 2,942 yards, but he's only got 15 passing touchdowns on the season.
You don't like
Kyler Murray?
You don't like Kyler there?
Well, I have to play the stud. At this point, I have to trust in my stud, and I'm going to say Deshaun Watson has got to be my guy. But it is an interesting conundrum.
Yeah, I think I lean Kyler, but man, I'm a advocate of never bench your stud. That's kind of what you've said for literally 23 straight years on this show. So I kind of want to say that, but in this case, Kyler's on the verge of becoming, I think, that good, and I just think he's capable of throwing, 2 or 3 TDs in this one, and Kirk. I think Kirk could have a big game, so I'm kind of just leaning Kyler, but it's tough. It is tough.
You have any others?
Yeah, I do. I could go all day with these guys. They're loading the questions up. Running back.
Hey, well, it's one of the things I used to love about this program. Back before the internet got to be so big and no one had the type of program that I had.
Yeah.
I spent 2 to 3 hours doing nothing but taking phone calls and answering direct questions about lineups and trades and free agent pickups. So fire away. I'm all over it tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Pick 2. 1 point per reception. You got to pick 2 of these guys. Or no, this might pick 1. Sorry, pick 1. Rojo, Ronald Jones, Jamal Williams, or Jonathan Williams. I'm going to say Jonathan Williams right out of the gate on that one. I think he's the one that the Indy's leaning on, and he's the only guy of the 3 that have, I think, guaranteed, a guaranteed workload that I'm happy enough to roll with. So, do you think Jonathan Williams over Rojo?
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. It's a close call because Rojo has really taken the job away from Peyton Barber, but they refuse to actually mothball Peyton Barber. They keep on rolling him out there despite the fact that he is 3.2 yards per carry. And it just is frustrating when you know that Ronald Jones, at the very least, he was drafted high enough to where he should warrant workhorse treatment. Give him an opportunity there in Tampa, but they're not. And with the injury to Marlon Mack, I think Jonathan Williams is the guy to go.
Okay, what about Sam Darnold versus Cincinnati over Watson versus the Patriots? Do you like Darnold more than Watson?
No, not a chance on that one. Not a chance. I was more tempted to play Kyler Murray or Jared Goff over Deshaun Watson than Sam Darnold. The New York Jets have a unique ability to implode against anybody. And the Cincinnati Bengals, as desperate as they are, they have switched back to Andy Dalton as their quarterback. Now, granted, that Cincinnati defense sucks, and it sucks out loud. But I don't know that Cincinnati isn't in the prime spot, just like I predicted last week that Washington was going to beat Detroit. I think that Cincinnati stands a real good chance of beating the Jets this week because the Jets are starting to buy into their hype, and we know what happens when that starts to happen. They start to suck, and they play down to the level of their opponent. It's not even a question. I wouldn't even consider Sam Darnold over Deshaun Watson.
Okay, what about? I'd probably go Watson in that situation. What about the Jets defense versus the Bengals, or do you go with the New England Patriots versus the Texans?
The Patriots have been just by far the superior fantasy defense. The Jets against the Bengals is very tempting. Oh, don't get me wrong, that's very tempting. But I am not going to sit the New England Patriots defense that has been scoring points consistently and picking off passes. Deshaun Watson can still have a good game and still end up tossing a couple of picks in this game, which is what I think is going to happen. But I think he's going to have 3 touchdowns. I think he's going to have 280 yards. He probably is going to have those 2 interceptions. But I can't say that I don't expect that out of Kyler Murray, Tom Brady, Jared Goff either. So
yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play safe. I'm going with New England. Dance with who got you there.
And the Patriots find a way to just cause turnovers. It doesn't have to be through Deshaun Watson. It could be other ways. It could be through Hyde dropping the ball or whatever. So I agree with you there. I mean, this is a defense that like 4 or 5 weeks ago, people were saying if you held a draft in week 5 or 6 or whatever, people would draft the Patriots in the first round. That's how excited people were. You don't bench a defense like that. They've been on fire. They won't be as good all year, but I have more questions when we get back from the break, Russ, so if you've got time.
Okay. And I see our text line has started to
nice.
expand, so 888-368-1580 is the text line. You got fantasy football questions. Smitty and I are here to provide you with some answers. Smitty, we're going to put you on. I'll bring you up on the other side and continue the conversation. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Back in the day, it used to be about providing you with individualized fantasy football advice. Now, with the way fantasy football has taken off, it's really not that way anymore. So I do appreciate when you get involved. 888-368-1580 is the text line. I'm Russ Bliss. We'll be right back. It is the Red Zone, Doc.
Okay. I just want to hear what he's saying there. Thank you, Bradley. Bradley says, like and subscribe to Smitty. Damn straight. Let's get this show monstrous. Let's get this show to 20,000 subscribers by the start of next season. That's my goal. 20K. Let's get to 20K. Let's get to 30K. Hell. But my goal is to get to 10,000 by January 1. And it's going to take you guys to do that because I'm going to need your guerrilla style marketing techniques. Let's get out and get the word out because we need this show to get booming. Jordan with the super chat. Jordan. Thank you, Jordan. Carson or Sanders? As much as I worry about Carson, I don't bench Carson for Sanders. No way. Not yet. Could I say it next week? Sure. Carson could fumble his job away. But as of right now, unless news breaks before kickoff that talks about how he's like out, no way. Super chat. I already answered this one. I'm starting New England. Thanks for the super chat, Ozzy. Thanks, Bradley. What's up, Mikey? I would take the Pats. Legion says about one of the questions. MT, his numbers are low. And past Computer Bob's answering a question there. Wipe your feet says ugly. Hit the like button says ugly. Listen to ugly. He knows what he's talking about. Thank you, ugly. Always appreciate your support. Red Rifle, says Mark. Red Rifle. Dallas is normally a bad team, says Computer Bob. Alex is in the house. Alex, where you been? Smitty, dog, I need your advice. Pick 2, Woods, McLaurin, Shepard. I go Woods and McLaurin, but that's me. Shepard could do well. I'm not telling you that he can't, but... Okay. Carson is going to fight for his starting job, says Computer Bob. He might be. Bernard says, Prescott, Wentz, Trubisky, pick 2. I go Prescott and Wentz. No question about it. Easy call. Anything can happen, of course. Snell or Darrell Williams, I assume you mean. I'm going to go with... If Daryl's starting, Daryl. If we don't know Snell. Damian news, LaShawn or Daryl. There's no news or update that I know of. Let me pull it up real quick and just make sure. Look up any news. I'll read any of the breaking news that's happening now. So Zach Ertz hamstring injury week 12. He played with a hamstring injury so far. It looks like he's going to be fine though. We'll see. I'll give you an update on that if we see anything. Mike Williams pops up on the injury report with a knee. I'll keep you updated on that. Chase Edmonds limited Wednesday. Derrick Henry limited Wednesday with a hamstring. I'm sure he's fine. I'll let you know if that changes. Kittle did not practice. Not unusual. He's dealing with potentially broken bones in his foot, ankle, somewhere in the foot, ankle area. And looks fantastic in week 12, though. so I'm not worried. Emmanuel Sanders ribs limited on Wednesday. We'll know more about that. Deebo Samuel shoulder limited Wednesday. A lot of limited for the 49ers. Juju concussion clears protocol. Connor, Juju both did not practice. Hawkinson shoulder questionable Thursday. Adam Thielen did not practice on Wednesday, but there's a potential he plays, but we'll let you know more on that. Freeman cleared to return versus the Saints. I don't know if I'm playing him. Julio, questionable for Thursday night. We should know more. T.Y. Hilton gets a limited practice in. Probably going to be okay, I imagine. Tyreek Hill, hammy, practice full Wednesday. Golden Tate, concussion, absent Wednesday.
Years we've been doing this together on this radio program. Really appreciate you always being willing to come on and share the knowledge. You ready to go back and forth with some of these fantasy football questions that our respective listeners, viewers have for all important Week 13?
Yeah, let's do it. And I appreciate you having me on. Yeah, let's do it. And I appreciate you having me on, Russ, for the 16 straight years. It's been an amazing ride. 16 straight years. And what's crazy is that's longer than most anybody's appearance on a show in fantasy that I can find. And you've been doing it 23, so it's crazy.
Yeah, well, I've had Gary on for 18 straight years now.
Wow.
So you and Gary have been amazing, you know. I just can't say how thankful I am on this Thanksgiving Eve to have both of you as such good friends that are willing to come on and share the knowledge.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Russ. Thank you.
Okay, well, let's go back to the text line, 888-368-1580. Robert Woods or DJ Metcalf if Julio can't go? This is from the Hefty Lefty.
I'm feeling like DK's a little bit safer as long as he's healthy and good to go.
And I'm going to go with Robert Woods just because the Arizona Cardinals defense, their secondary, outside of Patrick Peterson, you know, I've been impressed with the rookie opposite him, but I think that Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Brandon Cooks, all a little bit too much for them to handle. And DJ Metcalf, while he has been pretty good, you know, has also disappeared some weeks. I know Robert Woods had too, but he seems to have gotten himself healthy, back in a better place. Had a nice game last week for the Rams. He was the only Rams player that seemed to show up in that game, outside of Greg Zuerlein kicking 2 field goals. So I'm going to say Robert Woods, but really it's a close call.
Yeah, it is close. I could be talked into either, to be honest.
Okay, fire back at me.
Hey, Smitty, can you please ask Russ Benny Snell or Miles Sanders?
Oh, providing that Jordan Howard does not play this week, Miles Sanders is a slam dunk play. And even if Jordan Howard does play this week, he hasn't been cleared for contact yet. That shoulder injury still doesn't have him being able to play in games. He's only got a couple more days to get that ready. So I think that it's likely that we're going to see him miss this game because I think that Philadelphia is going to think we don't need Jordan Howard to beat up on the Miami Dolphins. So
yeah,
even if Jordan
go ahead.
Somehow magically active, I'm going to go with Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that. I think what I would do is let the news guide me. If it sounds like Benny Snell is going to start, then you have, I think, a good close call there, and I could lean either way. If Benny Snell, there's no news of him getting a bulk of the carries, or you don't know what's going on heading into that situation, because Samuels could still be the guy, or it could be Snell. Snell got the work last week, but I do think that it's a close call. What about Allen Robinson or John Brown at flex, half PPR?
Half PR, Allen Robinson, John Brown. Brown going against the Dallas Cowboys. Robinson taking on the Detroit Lions. Oh, my God. You know, they really need to put the Lions game in the evening so that way we've got something to watch while we cook during the day because I'm sick of the Lions being the kickoff game on Thanksgiving Day. That's a good one. Robinson seems to be doing well as of late, but he can disappear. Brown is quintessentially a boom or bust, but if I'm going to rely on one of the two, I think I'm going to go with John Brown just because I like the boom factor that he has much more so than Allen Robinson's boom factor.
I love John Brown. I can't bench John Brown. I think I roll with him too, so I agree with you on that. I got two more, Hunt and Singletary. So Kareem Hunt or Devin Singletary, who you rolling with?
Oh, I'm going with Devin Singletary in that. We see Devin Singletary slowly but surely. Granted, the old man won't go away. Frank Gore, the ageless wonder, continues to play at a pretty decent level at running back, despite the fact he's my age.
Yeah.
So I got to go with Devin Singletary. It's so explosive.
I agree with you. I like both, but I definitely agree with you. Ryan says, "Thank you, Russ." MT has there's a regular here in the YouTube chat, MT, and I trust him. So he's reporting Darwin Thompson, the OC, the Kansas City Chiefs OC, is saying that Darwin Thompson is going to be unleashed this week. And even muddier KC backfield, Darwin may be worth a deep stash in 2% ownership. I haven't seen that, MT, but I'll look into it right when we're done with this question on my phone. But, Russ, what do you think of Darwin Thompson with that news, if that's accurate? I'm going to go looking for it right now on my phone while you answer it. But do you think that KC is capable of just all of a sudden going with Darwin Thompson and we don't even see Darrell Williams at all?
I think it's very doubtful. I think that what they may do is they may use Williams to go ahead and get themselves the lead against the Oakland Raiders. And once they have a nice, comfortable 3-touchdown lead on Oakland, then they may release Thompson. But I don't see it happening while the game is in the early stages and still competitive, because I think that they would like to see more of Thompson, but it's not something that I think they're going to do at the expense of Williams. I just don't see that happening. I think Darrell Williams is going to be able to get most of his carries still and do his damage early on in this game. Thompson could be worth a stash, but we're banking on something that look at last year. Who would have thought last year was going to end the way it did for Kansas City with their running back situation? And then they go out and they get LaShawn McCoy in the offseason, and it takes away Damian Williams' total fantasy value. I mean, he was a second, third round pick in a lot of fantasy drafts, but then it was LaShawn McCoy that was all the carries at the beginning of this year. So Kansas City's very fickle. They are not Andy Reid is not a predictable guy when it comes to his running.
I think that makes the follower MT his argument valid and something to look into. MT, find us a link on that, and I looked at RotoWorld. It doesn't say anything about that, but MT said that it was a press conference. The OC said this. Just something to throw out there. Appreciate MT's input, and it's something to keep in mind if you're super desperate at running back. Hey, man, that could be the home run you need, but it could also be the thing that gets you 0 points. So tough to know. Damien, let's see. Last question I'll ask you, Russ, then if you have anything else for me. Cobb, Cooks, or Pascal at wide receiver? That's a tough one. Cobb, Cooks, or Pascal? I don't even know.
Who were my options again? Sorry.
Randall Cobb, Brandon Cooks, or Pascal? That's one of those neither. None.
I'm going to go with Brandon Cooks here and hope that he isn't completely shadowed by Patrick Peterson the entire game, because the Cardinals are such a bad defense. They are allowing so many fantasy points to opposing passing games. It's just ridiculous. And we know that the Rams, while granted Jared Goff has stunk as of late, he does have the capability of putting up big numbers, and he always plays better when he's inside a comfy dome or at home. I know that hasn't been the case the last few weeks that he's been in Los Angeles, but no, I've got to go with Brandon Cooks on that one. Now, Randall Cobb, I like Randall Cobb, but I don't know that Buffalo's defense gives up that many points through the air to their opponents, so I'm just a little hesitant to pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah. Okay, and I guess if you want me to throw more at you, Jonathan Williams, Melvin Gordon, or Devontae Parker. I think I go Melvin Gordon on this one, but
let's see. said Melvin Gordon, Jonathan Williams, and who?
Devontae Parker.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going Melvin Gordon on that one.
Yeah.
Easy.
And,
Okay, my turn. I've got
yeah.
couple more. I've got a couple here in our chat line.
Hit me.
Papa Mike, I need two of these four. Sammy Watkins, Jamison Crowder, Emmanuel Sanders, Robert Woods.
Woods and Crowder are your only safe bets right now. We got to find out about Sanders. So I think Crowder and Woods would be the calls for right now.
Okay. Papa Mike follows up that with which tight end should I use? Jared Cook at Atlanta or George Kittle at Baltimore?
George Kittle. You can't bench Kittle.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. I love the matchup for Cook, but I can't bench Kittle. And then finally he finishes up with a running back question. James White at Houston or Latavius Murray at Atlanta. Curious your answer on this one.
Man, that's a tough one because what was White? Let me pull up White's stat line. What did White do last week?
I think it was horrible. He had like 3 carries for like 6 yards, and he caught 1 pass for minus 6 yards.
Yeah, so he wasn't used. He was supposed to get used in that game, so I kind of don't trust New England right now. I'm going to roll with Lat Murray in hopes that he gets a touchdown. I think they trust him enough to spell Kamara quite a bit, and Kamara can be spelled because he's that hybrid player that can get half of the rushes and get a bulk of his work in the receiving game. So it doesn't scare me off from Kamara at all, the fact that they do that, but it also keeps Kamara healthy. I don't think they're going to just scale back and not use Lat Murray. So I think Lat Murray is very flex worthy.
Oh, do you have your bell ready, Smitty?
Do I have my what?
Your bell.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Here's a question for you. In Week 14, Mahomes at New England or Darnold against Miami?
Bad boy.
I know that the matchup is real tempting against Miami, but yeah, there's just no way you sit Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the question about Peyton Manning or Jake Plummer. Okay, well, Peyton Manning. Let me explain why.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning is a stud quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a stud quarterback. Sam Darnold is a mediocre quarterback with a good matchup. I am not going to put my first-round playoff fantasy hopes in the hands of Sam Darnold when I've got Patrick Mahomes ready to pull the trigger in a revenge game against New England.
I'll tell you what, and this is with love. I hope the listener isn't upset about this, but I'm going to give him the trifecta. I have 3 different things I could do for him. This is the take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Can you hear that, Russ? Take a lap. Take a lap. He gets the bell, and he also gets the no button.
No.
So there you go. He's got the trifecta on the show. But I appreciate him, and you know what? He should also take a lap. That's what we also do around here. But while he takes that lap, he should pat himself on the back because he is a Pat Mahomes owner, and that in itself deserves a round of applause. I think Mahomes is going to do really well for him the rest of the way. And single-handedly, him and Lamar could win leagues for people in these final 3 weeks.
That is a definite right there. Hey, Smitty, I know we've only got a couple minutes left to go. Wanted to recap last week, our fantasy challenge with Gary Davenport, you and myself. Gary actually came in first of us. He scored 122.2. You came in second, 121.2. And I came in third with 112.6. I've got Gary's team. I've got my team, which I haven't announced yet. But would you like to go ahead and go again this week in the Fantasy Challenge?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to go with, let's see, Dalvin Cook I'll start with my quarterback, sorry. I'm going to go with Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
Dalvin Cook and Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
And then, man, this is a tough one. I'll go.
I tell you what, I'll let you go ahead and think about that during the break. We'll bring you right up on the other side.
Sounds good.
And we'll only have like a minute or two on the other side, but we'll bring you up on the other side and finish that out. Okay?
Sounds good.
step aside. We'll be right back. Wrap things up.
You guys pick my kicker. It can't be anybody that I've decided, though, or already on a team that I've already picked a player. So you can't have two players in the same team. So pick my kicker for me. But I'm going to go Adams at wide receiver. Actually, who should I go at wide receiver?
Why don't I do this? I mean, after all, they've been joining me while I've been doing this fantasy challenge for 18 years. It's amazing how long it takes for you to realize something so incredibly simple. We'll be right back. It's the Red Zone.
Okay, so who am I going at wide receiver? Yeah, I could go Godwin or Evans. You guys, Chark is a good play. I like Adams a lot this week. Everyone's so down on Adams. Like, oh, Adams is never going to return to a first-round value. It's crazy talk. Crazy talk, I tell you. Adams is, I think, in for a big week. Mike Thomas. Oh, yeah, I didn't pick Kamara. I thought I picked Kamara. That's why I didn't say Thomas. I'll go Mike Thomas, and I can't do Hill because I picked Mahomes, and I can't have players on the same team. That's what makes it a little bit difficult. But since I went Cook and McCaffrey, I can go MT. So I'll go Mike Thomas, and I can pick any wide receiver I want that I haven't picked somebody from another team. Justin Tucker. Is Tucker our kicker? Diggs is a good option. I like that. Can't guard Mike. So Godwin or Evans do I go with? Godwin and Evans switch. They rotate. Oh, I could go Hopkins, but Hopkins is going to get shut down by the Patriots, so that's a no. No Hopkins, bro. The numbers don't lie, Smitty. For what, Computer Bob? For Thomas? You can't guard MT. I'm going to go with Evans. Tucker. So we'll go with MT, Evans, and Tucker as our last. We don't pick a defense, unfortunately. I'm going Evans, Blake. I agree. I think him and Godwin, they're just going to rotate. Godwin and Evans are like identical. I love when people make the argument, and I'm not saying it's you, but when people make the argument that Evans can't. Evans is a bum, says Legion. They can't guard Evans either. Can't guard Mike, can't guard Evans. That's what I'm going to tell Russ. But I'm pulling up a league here. We're going to look at wide receivers. We're going to look at wide receivers. We're going to go sort by scoring, sort by all wide receivers. Mike Thomas, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. Hold on, sorry. What did Adams have last week? Mike Thomas, Godwin, Mike Evans. Godwin in this league that I pulled up right here. Godwin's number 2. Evans is number 3. Why do people have such a problem with me picking Evans over Godwin in anything I do, whether it's on Instagram, on a rankings post, or whatever? I hear nothing but crap from people when I put Evans ahead of Godwin. They're freaking almost the same. Yeah, Godwin has, depending on your scoring, maybe 15 to 22 points more. That's like a week, so that is good. But Evans and him are like the same. They're number 2 and number 3. Hopkins is number 4? That's surprising, given he's had some struggles here and there and how much doubt people have had for him. That big game helped. Chark number 5 in this particular league. Edelman number 6. Take a lap, Smitty. Take a lap. Take a lap. That was projections, I was saying, for Adams. Chark. Adams has been hurt. You can't blame Adams for being outside the top 25. You got hurt. Chark is had an amazing year. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's number 5 out of all wide receivers. Okay, here we go. We're coming back. We're going to MT and Evans. We're going to go. Can't guard.
Might sound like going in a little bit of a hurry. I am in a little bit of a hurry. from the
Yep.
fantasyfootballshow.com is our guest on the program. Smitty, we're going over your fantasy challenge entry. We've got Pat Mahomes at quarterback, Dalvin Cook, and Christian McCaffrey at running back. Who are your wide receivers?
Can't guard Mike Thomas for the Saints.
Smitty?
Oh, yeah, can you hear me? I'm here.
Now.
Can't guard Mike, so Mike Thomas from the Saints, and can't guard Mike Evans.
Michael Thomas, Michael Evans, and finally, the least sexy pick of any fantasy football team every week. Who's your kicker this week?
We're going to go with Tucker.
One to the music, Justin Tucker. Okay, so your team is Pat Mahomes, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Michael Thomas, Mike Evans. Gary's team, Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Harrison Butker. And my entry for Week 13, Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, Michael Thomas, Calvin Ridley, Greg Zuerlein.
I almost went Ridley, Russ. Almost.
So, I really appreciate it, Smitty. Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, and really appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next week. Best of luck in all your fantasy leagues this weekend, and best of luck to everyone listening on the fantasyfootballshow.com.
Appreciate you, Russ. Everybody here says happy Thanksgiving as well. Thanks a lot for having us.
Hey, thank you for joining us.
All right, guys, that's a wrap on the show. Do we have any super chats here before I hit the music? I don't know that I've missed any. I don't think I've missed any. If you super chat, it restarts the music. If you want to get your question focused on, it's the outro music. Ryan, so speed session. One-line questions. Don't give me a paragraph. I can't read that fast. Ryan or Rogers, I go Ryan. Hunt or Jamal Williams, easy, go Hunt. John Brown, Lockett, Kirk, McLaurin, Jeffrey, Fuller, pick two. I'm going John Brown, I'm going Lockett. I hate putting McLaurin on the bench. Fuller, Jeffrey, you have good options, but those are the selections. Computer Bob says he hears that Snell is starting. That's good. Hit the like button. Mikey, not wasting any time with his question, because he's just going to tell you for the sake of the show. Hit the like button on your way out. Godwin equals Godwin. God plus win equals Godwin. Okay, thanks, Michael. Killer lineup, Smitty. Thank you, Teddy. I know you want Cook, but I really love Jacobs this week. Yeah, I mean, I could see him being one of the top guys for sure. Cohen, Gallup, James White, pick one. I'm going Gallup. You can't go wrong with Cohen either, though. It's kind of, I don't know. We haven't had a trip to Lou Molinati's for pizza in a while. Well, you know what? I might go there tonight. That's so funny you said that. And if I do, I'm going to be live on Instagram. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, and you'll see me go live while I go pick up the pie. Follow me on Instagram. Same handle as the Fantasy Football Show. The Fantasy Football Show on YouTube, and it's The Fantasy Football Show. Let's do one more outro. Come on. And it's the same handle on both platforms. Deshaun Watson or Sam Darnold. Thanks for the great content. Thank you, Alexander. I go Watson. I'm not playing around with benching Watson for a guy like Darnold, although Darnold, he could have 3 TDs. It's one of those games. It's one of those games, Alexander, and I'm going to be upset and worried about your team all Sunday and Thursday, because I'll be thinking about football both days. I'm going to be worried about that question. Thanks a lot for ruining my Thanksgiving, because I know that one's going to come back to bite me, because Darnold's somehow going to outscore Watson. Drake all day, says MT. Breeze or Allen? I go Breeze, but it's very close. You're not. I like both. Posner. Everybody thank Posner for restarting the music. I'm going to let this one play out, and I'm restarting it for Posner. You super chat, you get an extra round of music, so thank Posner, everybody. MT, you think... Oh, it's for MT. Out of here. Have a good night. Thanks, Computer Bob. Catch you later. Great show. Hope you have more and more views each week. Thank you, Blake. It's things are slowing down a little. We had like 500 to 800 people in my lives constantly, Blake, when we were like heavy August and September. As people have been following other leagues, the viewership kind of dwindles naturally. Kind of happens. But don't worry, my Dynasty content's going to be sick and off the hook, Blake. So get ready. Posner is fire, MT says. Oh, Posner has a question in there too. So, new round of music for Posner. Cousins, Winston, who you gonna pick? Or Darnold? This is where I consider Darnold. Because you have Darnold, Cousins, Winston, all very close. I kind of lean Winston if you aren't like super hurt by the interception. So if it's -1 for INTs, Posner, then maybe I go Winston. If it's -2 or 3, some leagues are -3, it's brutal. Then I worry more about Winston costing you a lot of points in the turnover department. So Darnold's probably the safest, Posner, but I don't love the start, but he could sneak into 2 or 3 TDs, which wouldn't be horrible. Lambo or Meyer, I think I go Meyer. Good night, everyone, says Steven. Thank you, Steven. Is Cooper benchable against the Bills D? No, you don't bench Cooper. Nope. 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 Gallup or Hopkins? Hopkins. Anything can happen on Sunday, Thursday, sometimes Saturday, and Monday. But I'm not benching Hopkins. That's what's not happening on any of those days. I can guarantee that. No problem, ugly dude. Thank you, Posner, says Maddox. Edgar, thank you. You rock too, my friend. Hilton or Adam Thielen, says Mikey. I'm going Hilton until I know more about Thielen. They're both kind of like banged up. Happy Thanksgiving, says Chuck. Thank you, Chuck. MT Dragon says thank you. Smitty, you have a great show. Thank you, Legion. Oh, Frank restarting the super. Everybody give Frank a round of applause. Where's my applause button? Frank is restarting the super chat restarting the outro music. Posner first did it, then Frank. Maybe we need to include the clapping as well. It gives you more time. Get it, Frank. Okay. One more round because of Frankie Poo. Thank you, Frankie. Frankie says Ronald Jones, Montgomery, Cohen, Marquise Brown, pick 2. Lock Brown in. Lock Brown in. This is Hollywood Brown, man. You know why they call him Hollywood? Not because of the fame. It's because he's from Hollywood, Florida. But he's also very, very Hollywood-like now. He's very in the spotlight. So it's kind of an awesome nickname for him. Monty or Cohen, kind of go off the news, Frank, on that. If kind of want to say Monty because the options aren't overwhelming. Cohen's safer in PPR, I guess. So you could go Cohen and Hollywood Brown. I kind of want to lean Monty, but man, he could fail you. Monty could get you literally 2 carries for 6 yards by the third quarter, or he could have 100 and a touchdown, and everyone's going to be like, on my bench, thank you, Monty, you a-hole. But Hollywood Brown, lock him in. And Frank, hit me back with that like on Saturday night show or Sunday morning. I go live on Saturday night about 11-ish p.m. Eastern, and then I go live the whole hour heading into kickoff in the morning games. So hit me back on that, Frank. Monty or Crowder? Crowder's safer. Thank you, Walter. You're great too. Steelers or Eagles? Steelers or Eagles? Someone gonna reset the music? Steelers or Eagles? Eagles. Against Miami, man. Gotta love that. 14 carries, 22 yards. It sucks, man. Could literally get you like 1.5 points. I keep having to reopen my bag of hint of lime with those supers. Steelers or Ravens defense? I'm going to go with... The music stopped, didn't it? I'm going to go Steelers. I think they cause a little more havoc. Baltimore, I just don't think is going to score as much. But you never know. You never know. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. That's going to put a wrap on tonight's show. Matt Ryan trash for the playoffs? No, I think he could do okay. Posner! Posner! They're saying Posner's restarting. Rodgers or Breeze? I'm going with Breeze, but that's a close one. It's a type of chip. Oh, okay. I didn't know what you're talking about, Maddox. I was just rolling with it. I'm like, it's one of those things where like someone tells a joke and you don't know if it's funny or not. And you're like, yeah, mint, whatever you're doing. Whatever you're doing with a bag of mint. McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's, pick two. Burger King, then McDonald's. It depends what I'm eating. Posner for the win. What's next? Monty. I assume you mean Jonathan Williams. If so, Jonathan. Breeze, please. What do we got? Any questions? Here we go. Your time's running out. You guys are all talkative all show long. We have a stoppage in questions. What the? That hasn't happened in a few months. It wasn't funny. You played it perfectly. Thank you, Maddox. I don't know if I did or not. What do we got? Questions. Come on, guys. You guys are all questioned out. Steelers or Eagles, I got that one. Mark's like, I'm not letting it end here. Hunter Henry or Cook for tight end? Hunter Henry. Easy call. Anything can happen, but easy call. MT says one more. We go 2 rounds now because MT also did it. So thank you guys. Cousins or Darnold? I'm going with Darnold barely. Monty or Bo? How does it come to this? How has it come to this? This is my favorite 3rd round player. David Montgomery. How has it come to this? Bo or David Montgomery? How has it come to this? I don't understand. I guess Bo? That's awful. I feel like taking a shower after that. Bo. Start Bo Scarborough. AJ Brown rest of season, I think he's elite. Best current handcuffs: Madison, Pollard. These guys win you a league if they get in there. Pollard's a top 10 running back if he's in there. Top 6 to 10. Madison, top 6 to 10 if he gets in there. You missed Mark Super. Don't I have it right here? Oh, his question. Lockett or Keenan Allen? Full PPR. Posner, if I missed your Super too, I gotta go look. You might have had a question there. I'm so focused on the fact that you restarted the show. Lockett, Keenan Allen, Lockett. But anything can happen. Lock it in. That's a tough one, though. MT says one more. Would you sit Watson against the Pats? Pivot Darnold. We had that question, Aaron. This is the last round of music. We had that question on the show, and the answer was no, not putting my hands in Darnold, said Russ when that question was asked, and I said, I don't know. Darnold could have a 2 to 3 TD game. It could happen. I could see it. And it's going to upset me all day long. What day is the Houston game? All Sunday long, I want to be thinking about your damn question upsetting my weekend because I'm going to get it wrong. Because this matchup is so tough for Watson. But I'm going Watson. Trust your gut because this is like I'm leaning that way. You could talk me into Darnold because the matchup is so brutal for Watson. But trust your gut, man. It's that close. It's not a slam dunk. It's not. Flex Galladay or sit him with the rookie QB. Depends on who you're going to flex, Blake. But I'd say Golladay, even with a bad QB situation, is high-end wide receiver 2 material. So you better have damn good options if you're putting Golladay on the bench. You better not be for some scrub. Do you like to go off your gut or power rankings when making your lineup? I use more gut than anything else, but it depends. If the stats are overwhelming, like if I hear a stat that completely blows me away, I will lean into that player more and say, this is driving my gut instinct. But I don't always let like a single stat stray my gut instinct away. I use them both, but I'm not somebody that doesn't use stats. There are a couple people out there, I'm not going to say any names, that literally use no data whatsoever. It's you suck or you don't suck. You know who that is? Look at Posner! There are people that do that. They literally say, this guy sucks. I'm not going to tell you why, but he sucks. I use stats. I use a lot of data. But I am very gut-driven. I've always been gut-driven. That's how I roll. Posner isn't having it. The show will go on if Posner says it will go on. I work for Posner. Thank you, Dragon. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Eat. Posner's not letting the show end. Posner for president. Okay, Posner said nope. On the last round, free round of questions on me. Boom. It's like he's at the bar. He's like, drinks are on me. That's what we should call it. Drinks are on Posner at the end of the show. Closing time. I can't use closing time. I wish I could use the closing time song. I could get my guitar out. Oh, I don't know if this thing's tuned. Closing time, and then drinks are on Posner. So hold on. I gotta remember how to play closing time. It's been a while since I've tuned the guitar. So it's like something like this. This is not it, but something like that. Posner says, does that sound right? Closing time. Posner's not letting the show end. Posner time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Posner knows who. It's something like that. It's been a while since I played the little guitar. All right, where were we? Anyway, closing time. Posner, drinks are on Posner. This is the last round unless we get another. Lamar, top 5 QB against the Niners this week. Why not? Always roll with Lamar. Very good, Smitty, says Chuck. Posner's the GOAT, says Blake. LOL, says Posner. Smitty, pick one. Snell, Jamal, Monty. Snell. Dragon's laughing at me. LOL, so good. Classic Smitty. Thanksgiving, eat. McLaurin, Juju, Woods. Pick 2. McLaurin, Woods. This is why I tune in. Are you not entertained? We should do a thing where if I get a super chat of $5 or more during the ending, I have to get the guitar out and play closing time for whoever super chatted. We'll make that a new thing. I have to go get the guitar. I have to sing closing time to whoever $5 super chatted at closing time. It's new. It's a new thing. Lat Murray flex, yes. I like him at the flex. They're going to lean on him a little bit, enough to get maybe a touchdown. Jets or Steelers, probably go Jets against the Bengals, but that's me. Better playoff stash, AJ Green, Marlon Mack. I don't know which one's going to play. Neither. Probably Mack for now. But Posner, super chat. Posner's not letting me leave. I work for Posner. Devontae Parker, a good fill-in for Julio if he sits. Yeah, I mean, it depends who you have. Sure. Smitty, do you like pumpkin pie? Not really, to be honest with you. I like cheesecake. Is N'Keal Harry worth keeping on my bench? I do think he's worth keeping on your bench. He's very TD dependent right now, but I think he could develop and start showing some signs. Posner, can you adopt me? No! Dried Ocean. That's my Posner. Flex, my favorite Thanksgiving dessert. Cheesecake. Strawberry cheesecake. Oh my God, Posner. And I can't read that, Walter. It's a family show, Walter. I almost read it, Walter. NFC East champ, Philly or Dallas? I'll give you my prediction of the NFC East champ. Yeah, Dallas. I think Green Bay will be the NFC North champ. I think the Saints, well, obviously they are already the NFC South champ. 49ers and Seahawks, 9-2. The Seahawks. I thought that Seahawks had 8 wins. Seahawks are 9-2, but I think the 49ers will win that. Kansas City's going to lock up the AFC West, although Oakland is only 1 game back. Texans, I believe, will. The Texans lose to New England, and the Colts beat the Texans, and they're going to be tied at 7-5. But I think the Texans will pull that off. Tennessee's 6-5 as well. Posner! Baltimore 9-2 is going to win the AFC North. 10-1 New England Patriots are going to win, clearly, the AFC East. But look at the Buffalo Bills at 8-3. This playoff team, this playoff-looking team here called the Buffalo Bills. And if the Buffalo Bills win this week against Dallas, damn, they'll have 9 wins. They'll be 9-3 if they win this week. Smitty, flex question. Freeman, David Montgomery. I do have to. This will probably have to be the last one because I got to get dinner cooking. But I appreciate you, Posner. If you do throw another one, I will hit the music again. But yeah, I'll do it if you do it. But I do got to hit dinner. But you guys are practically paid for dinner, so I appreciate you, every one of you. You keep the lights on. You guys keep the lights on here. Coleman fading. Coleman is fading. I'm not trusting him too much right now. Smitty question. Devonta Freeman, David Montgomery, Benny Snell. I didn't answer this one yet. Benny Snell. Or no, Sutton's pretty safe too. If Snell looks like the starter, I'd do Snell. Ring the bell for Posner. Of course. Do you think Brady retires or leaves after this year? I think it depends on what happens, but I think he probably gives us that whole song and dance all offseason, and we finally hear that he's going to play. Jason G will get fired. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. The best show ever, says Walter. I'm out of here. Posner! Halfway happy and halfway like Posner. Yas, says Aaron. you're not going to see me. I do got to get that pizza ordered. I got to order the pizza. Hold on 1 second. I got to go order. Stay right here. And I'll hit the music one more time while I order. All right, who's still there? Oh, pizza's ordered. I had to order the pizza real quick. Okay, Posner. That's for Posner. And Jordan with the question. Jordan says, Crowder or Miles Sanders. Thank you, Jordan, for restarting it again. Miles Sanders if he started. Stacking Penny and Carson too risky for actually starting both of them. Depends on your options, Aaron. Post your options. Love your show, says Posner. Thank you, Posner. These questions are piling up on the screen here. Too risky, but depends on your options. Josh Allen, startable week 14 through 16. Yeah. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, New England. Not in New England, I guess, but thankful for being a part of the show, says Walter. Thank you, Walter. You're the best. Walter, you're the best. Shepard or Robbie? I go Robbie. Ramos, I go Robbie. Smitty, who's better QB all time between Breeze and Manning? I think Breeze says Alex Cruz. Alex, I think that's a debatable one. They're both so good for different reasons, you know. I personally like Peyton Manning more, but I could understand anybody. And this is the last one, thanks to Jordan with the super chat. I would like to order an Eagles win. I'll see if Lou Molinari's can take care of that for you. Should I start Fuller, Galladay, Dede, Gallup, and Standard? Just need one. I go with Galladay. I don't say Galladay for those people. No. Papa John's or Pizza Hut? Neither. Because I'm going Lou Molinari's MT, but if I had to pick, I'd probably say Papa John's. Cook or Hollister? I go Hollister. Ingram coming back this week? I don't know. I can look that up. I don't know. Go Birds, says Chuck. Which Birds, Chuck? The Cardinals? Are you in Arizona like me? Who am I looking up? Ingram. Not practicing Wednesday, so we don't know. Jordan with the super yet again. Cook or Hollister? I'm going Hollister. Here comes Posner, says Walter. Look at all the questions on screen. Robbie or Dede? I go Robbie. but anything can happen. Chuck, are you an AZ Eagles? Oh, those birds. Those birds. Mixon, Snell, Eckler, Sanders. I rank them in order of Mixon, Eckler, and if Sanders is starting, Sanders. If he's not, then Snell. Yeah, there are 7 bird teams or so. We used to call the Cardinals the birds a lot. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for the super chats, young man. Darrell or Snell? This is a tough call we talked about on the CBS show. Do you start Darrell if he's not necessarily the starter? There's news that potentially, this came from MT, that the OC for the Kansas City Chiefs is reportedly, according to MT, reportedly considering unleashing Darwin Thompson this week. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's hearsay, but I do trust MT. MT posted that and said that it happened in a press conference. We'll see if news emerges on that. MT will give you credit. I'll give you credit on Instagram if that breaks. But I don't know that that's necessarily going to happen, even if they're talking it up. It could be coach speak. So Benny Snell, if there's no news about Darrell Williams starting, Benny Snell might be safer. If the news comes out that Darrell's getting a go, then Darrell becomes the better option. So it's news dependent, the answer to that. Those are my other options over Carson and Penny. Gotcha. So Carson, Penny, Mixon. I'd rank them as Carson, even with Carson's risk, I rank them there. Carson, Mixon, Eckler, and then Sanders, Snell, and then Penny. All right, guys, I appreciate all of you. If for any reason somebody super chats while I hit the button, because sometimes that happens, there's a little delay, I will please ask your question in the comments as soon as the video posts, and I will get to you personally. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Take it easy.